Picture this scenario because I guarantee it has happened to you in the last month. It's a Wednesday night. You're scrolling through Netflix trying to find something to watch. After 20 minutes of browsing, you give up and switch to Hulu. Nothing there either. So you open Disney+, then HBO Max, then Amazon Prime. You finally settle on a show you've already seen twice before. As you're watching, you get a notification. Your Paramount Plus subscription just renewed. Wait, you think I still have that? You haven't opened that app in 4 months. You're paying $12 a month for a service you forgot existed. And here's the kicker. When you add up all your streaming services, you're paying $87 a month. That's more than cable cost in 2010. The thing we all celebrated escaping from. We've somehow rebuilt it, but worse. We told ourselves we were cutting the cord to save money. But what if I told you that mathematically, you didn't cut the cord? You just traded one expensive rope for 12 cheaper strings that somehow cost more when you add them up. And it's not just the subscription fees. It's the upgraded internet you need to stream in 4K. It's the new TV you bought because your old one wasn't smart enough. It's the time you waste scrolling through content libraries instead of living your actual life. My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time obsessing over the invisible equations that govern our lives and keep us trapped in consumption cycles that we genuinely believe are saving us money. If you are someone who looks at your bank statement and sees subscription after subscription you barely use, or if you feel like you're paying for everything but owning nothing in late 2025, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because today, we aren't talking about investing. We are talking about the greatest marketing con of the digital age. The promise that streaming would liberate us from expensive cable bundles. Instead, it created something far more insidious. A fragmented ecosystem designed to nickel and dime you into financial submission while making you feel like you're in control. We are going to calculate the true cost of your streaming habit. And I have to warn you, once you see this number, you will never click subscribe to free trial the same way again. Here's the fundamental lie we were all sold starting around 2015. We were told that cable was a ripoff. $120 a month for 500 channels you don't watch. The streaming revolution was supposed to fix this. Netflix for $8 a month. Hulu for $6. You could pick and choose. You were in control. It was the future. But in the business world, there's a concept called market fragmentation. When one monopoly breaks into multiple competing services, the consumer initially benefits. But over time, each fragment tries to become its own monopoly. They all want exclusive content. They all raise prices. And suddenly, to get the same content you had before, you need to subscribe to all of them. You haven't escaped the cable bundle. You've just been tricked into building your own bundle, one app at a time, and you're paying more for the privilege. Let's perform a brutal audit of a hypothetical average streaming consumer in this economy. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah considers herself financially savvy. She cut cable 3 years ago. She felt like a genius. But let's look at what Sarah actually pays for. She has Netflix Standard because she wants HD and 2 screens. That's $15.49 a month. She has Hulu with no ads because she's not an animal. That's $17.99. She has Disney Plus because she has kids and they need Bluey and Marvel. That's $13.99. She has HBO Max, because she needs her prestige dramas. That's $15.99. She has Amazon Prime, which she justifies for the shipping. But let's be honest, she watches the shows. That's $14.99 a month if we break down the annual fee. She has Paramount Plus because she got hooked on one show and forgot to cancel. That's $11.99. She has Apple TV Plus because it came free with her phone, but that trial ended 8 months ago. That's $9.99. And she has Peacock because it's the only place to watch The Office and her comfort show during anxiety spirals. That's $7.99. When you add those up, Sarah is paying $108.42 a month. That's $1,301 a year. But we're only looking at the direct costs. We haven't even started the forensic accounting. Because streaming has hidden costs that make cable look transparent. First, the internet cost. Sarah needs high-speed internet to stream. She pays $80 a month for internet fast enough to handle multiple 4K streams. Could she survive on cheaper internet if she wasn't streaming? Absolutely. A basic plan for email and browsing costs $40. The difference, $40 a month, is a streaming tax. That's another $480 a year. Then there's the hardware cost. Sarah bought a new smart TV 2 years ago for $800 because her old TV from 2012 couldn't run the app smoothly. She bought a Roku for the bedroom TV for $50. She upgraded her router for better Wi-Fi coverage for $120. These are capital expenses that depreciate, but let's conservatively amortize them over 5 years. That's another $194 a year. Then there's the sneaky cost of content fragmentation. Sarah wants to watch a specific movie. It's not on any of her 8 services. She rents it on Amazon for $5.99. This happens maybe twice a month. That's another $144 a year. And here's a cost nobody talks about, the subscription creep. Sarah signs up for free trials. Showtime for one show, Stars for another. She forgets to cancel half of them. Let's say she accidentally pays for 2 extra services for 3 months each before noticing. That's another $60 a year in what I call the forgetfulness tax. When you add up the subscriptions, the internet premium, the hardware, the rentals, and the accidental subscriptions, Sarah isn't paying $1,301 a year for streaming. She's paying closer to $2,179. But we're only halfway through the equation because cost is not just money. It's money plus time plus mental energy. And streaming is designed to devour all 3. The average person spends 23 minutes per session just deciding what to watch. This is called choice paralysis. You have too many options across too many platforms, so you waste time scrolling. If Sarah streams 4 times a week, that's 92 minutes a week just browsing. That's 80 hours a year of her life spent looking at thumbnails and reading descriptions. What's the value of 80 hours? If we use Sarah's real hourly wage from her job, let's say it's $15 an hour after we do the math from the last video. That's $1,200 of opportunity cost. She could have been learning a skill, building a side business, or actually enjoying her life. Instead, she's scrolling. Then there's the content treadmill. Streaming services release shows designed to keep you subscribed. You finish one show, they drop another. You can never catch up. You feel obligated to watch because you're paying for it. This creates what I call subscription guilt. Sarah keeps HBO Max because she hasn't watched that one show everyone talked about. She keeps Paramount Plus because she'll definitely watch that Star Trek series eventually. She's paying for potential content, not actual consumption. She's literally paying for her own FOMO. And here's the darkest part. Streaming is a time vampire. The average American watches 3 hours of streaming content per day. That's 21 hours a week. That's 1,095 hours a year. That's 45 full days. Sarah is spending a month and a half of her waking life every year watching other people's stories instead of living her own. What could you do with 45 extra days a year? You could learn a language. You could write a book. You could build a business. You could actually connect with your family. But instead, you're watching season 7 of a show you don't even like that much because the algorithm said you might enjoy it. This is the streaming scam. You were promised choice and freedom. Instead, you got subscription fatigue, decision paralysis, and a monthly bill that rivals your grocery budget. And look, I know what you're thinking. But Bobby, I'm entertained. Isn't that worth something? And yes, entertainment has value. But we need to be honest about the exchange rate. When cable cost $120 a month, we knew we were being ripped off. We complained about it. We felt the pain. But streaming has gamified the extraction. Each individual service feels cheap. $9 here, $15 there. It doesn't hurt. It's the financial equivalent of death by 1,000 cuts. You're bleeding out, but each cut is so small you don't notice until you look at your annual spending and realize you dropped over $2,000 on watching TV. Let me put that in perspective. $2,000 invested every year for 30 years at 7% return is over $200,000. You're not watching Netflix. You're watching your retirement disappear. You're watching your financial independence vanish into the cloud. The system relies on you not doing this math. They rely on you thinking $10 a month is nothing. They rely on subscription fatigue, so you forget what you're paying for. They rely on exclusive content, so you feel forced to subscribe. They rely on auto-renewal, so you never consciously choose to keep paying. You're on autopilot, and they're picking your pocket while you binge. So what is the solution? How do we break this equation? The answer is not necessarily cancel everything and stare at a wall. We have to be realistic. Entertainment is part of life. The solution is to ruthlessly optimize your streaming cost and consumption. This becomes the new metric for your media life. Not how much content you have access to, but how efficiently you consume what actually matters. Here's the framework. First, the rotation strategy. You don't need 8 services at once. Pick 2, maximum 3. Watch everything you want on them. Cancel. Subscribe to 2 different ones. Rotate quarterly. If you do this, you cut your annual cost by 60% and you still get access to everything eventually. You just have to accept you won't watch things the week they come out. And guess what? That's fine. FOMO is a marketing tool, not a real emotion. Second, the shared account strategy. Most services allow multiple profiles. Split the cost with family or friends. If 4 people split Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and HBO Max, you're each paying $16 a month instead of $63. That's a 75% discount for the same content. Third, the library strategy. Your local library has free streaming services. Canopy, Hoopla. They have thousands of movies and shows. They're free. You already paid for them with your taxes. Use them. Fourth, the content audit. Sit down and look at your watch history. Which services did you actually use last month? Be honest. If you didn't open an app in 30 days, cancel it. You can always resubscribe if you need it. That friction, having to consciously resubscribe, will save you hundreds of dollars a year. Fifth, the time budget. Decide how many hours a week you actually want to spend streaming. Let's say it's 7 hours. That's 1 hour a day. Now calculate how much content that is per month. It's about 30 hours. One service has enough content to fill 30 hours. You don't need 8 services. You need 1, maybe 2. The rest is just waste. But the biggest shift is psychological. You have to stop treating streaming like a utility. It's not water or electricity. It's entertainment. It's optional. Every subscription is a choice. A choice to spend money. A choice to spend time. A choice to let corporations dictate your leisure. Take that power back. Here's what I want you to do this weekend. Log into your bank account. Find every streaming subscription. Write them down. Add them up. Now add the internet premium. Now add the hardware costs amortized. Now multiply your total annual cost by 30 and calculate what that money would be worth invested over 3 decades. Look at that number. That's the true cost. That's what your streaming habit is stealing from your future. Now go into each app and check your watch history. How many hours did you actually watch last month? Divide your monthly cost by those hours. What's your cost per hour of entertainment? Is it $2 an hour? $5 an hour? $10 an hour? Compare that to other forms of entertainment. A book costs $15 and gives you 10 hours of enjoyment. That's $1.50 an hour. A board game with friends costs $30 and you'll play it 20 times. That's pennies per hour. A walk in the park is free and better for your mental health than any show. Streaming is often the most expensive form of entertainment when you do the math, but we've been conditioned to think it's cheap. Write that cost per hour on a sticky note and put it on your TV. My streaming costs $8.73 per hour of actual watching. The next time you're about to start a show you don't really care about, look at that number. Ask yourself, is this worth $9 an hour of my money and my life? That friction will save you more money than any budgeting app ever could. We are living in an era where attention is the ultimate currency. The streaming services are buying your attention. You're selling it at a discount and paying them for the privilege. Don't pay corporations to steal your time. Audit your subscriptions. Cancel the ones you don't use. Rotate the ones you do. Build a gap between what you pay for and what you actually consume, because that gap is where your freedom lives. If this video made you rethink your subscriptions, share it with a friend who has more streaming services than they can name. We are all in this same trap, but we can math our way out of it together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.